Jacob Halanga Mbeza, Minister of Transport, Public Works of the Republic of Malawi. Honorable Muhammad Abdulkadir Muhammad, Minister of Ports and Marine Transport of the Federal Government of Somalia. His Excellency, Mr. Motan Anwar, Ambassador of Egypt, in Zambia, representing His Excellency General Kamal Alwazi, Minister of Transport of the Republic of Egypt. Her Excellency Monica Patricio Clemente Musa, High Commissioner of the Republic of Mozambique to Zambia, representing His Excellency Mateus Magara, Minister of Transport and Communications of the Republic of Mozambique. Mr. Ali Ahmed Moreru, representing Honorable Gianfili Tamidi, Minister of Maritime and Air Transport of the Union of Comoros. Mr. Alan Derodu James, Permanent Secretary, representing His Excellency Anthony Bedaquis, Minister of Transport for the Republic of Seychelles. Dr. Lovenes Masuka Guma, Chief Director, Inland Waterways, representing Honorable F.T. Mona, MD, Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development of the Republic of Zimbabwe. With the Honorable Ministers who have come to attend this very wonderful session. So members of ISCOS and Coordinating Committee, can I request you to stand up? Members of the ISCOS Coordinating Committee, thank you. The Secretary General of ISCOS, where are you, the Secretary General? Yes, that's the Secretary General of ISCOS. So, representatives of High Commissioners, members of the press present, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As Chair of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, I'm pleased and privileged to welcome you all to the 8th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. I bring you warm greetings and best wishes from my President, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the people of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Let me start by paying tribute to the Republic of Zambia under the good leadership of His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema for accepting to host this important meeting and for the wonderful reception accorded to all of us since we arrived in this country. Those of you who came through Lusaka, or even at a very, very difficult time of the night, we were very well handled. So I want to thank the President and all the team behind this. I'm particularly grateful to our host minister, the Minister of Transport and Logistics, Honorable Frank Museba Tayari, for the effort he has put into making this meeting a success. Tayari in Swahili means ready. He's always ready. Before I progress on my speech, allow me to take this special opportunity to thank all the states represented here from all over the region and beyond for honoring our invitation and accepting to be here with us today, and for your contribution in the consultative forum which you have had this morning. Your presence here amidst many pressing issues in your respective countries is testimony to the importance to which you attach the agenda of collaboration in shipping and maritime sector. And before I progress, may I request that we all stand up and observe a minute of silence in memory of the people who have died as a result of Cyclone Freddy, both in Mozambique and in Malawi. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Honorable members from Malawi and Mozambique, please pass on our regards and condolences to the people of your nations at the loss on your countries, which has been because of this terrible cyclone. We condole with you and also feel with you on this loss. Honorable Ministers, as you may already know, shipping is the main facilitator of international business, carrying over 90% of global trade. As emerging markets, efficient shipping and maritime services should be central in our priorities. Today, shipping supports a lot of human activity and has become essential to human well-being. Because without it, international trade and connectivity between nations would be impossible. Distinguished guests, delegates, we are all aware of the aspirations of our continent under initiatives such as revised African Maritime Transport Charter of 2010, African Integrated Maritime Strategy of 2050, African Continental Free Trade Agreement, AFTAC, and Agenda 2063, which envisions a developed continent driven by the liberalized trade regime with the free movement of people and goods. To achieve these aspirations, shipping and trade facilitation must play a critical role. I'm happy to note that with ISCOS's expanded mandate covering the Eastern, Northern, Southern Africa, and the Indian Ocean states of Africa, we have a platform that can assist us to contribute positively towards the realization of the African dream. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, you may recall that at the 7th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers of March 2022, we, as Africa and the regional states, decried the lack of sufficient collaboration protocols in this sector, with many of the states pursuing unilateral approaches which are in most cases very costly and at the same time less effective. And like I said in my letter of invitation to this assembly, our international trade, which is largely transported by sea, is subjected to policies which would better be addressed through our collaboration. So I can't overemphasize the need for us to collaborate in this direction. I also noted that the international nature of shipping and maritime affairs, the technical nature, complexities and geographical locations of the issues involved, the shared overseas trading partners and regimes, and many other international shipping aspects form part of a compelling reasons for regional collaboration in this sector. Honorable members in the room, that's why you see the response here, as everybody appreciates that we must work together. We must move as a region to be able to make our efforts realistic. Honorable Ministers, we know that cargo for the region was still principally transported by foreign-owned carriers. And this is a fact. And as a region, we neither have sufficient control in the movement of our own cargo, nor are we coordinated enough to support each other in this area, exposing us to adverse conditions in trade, in addition to paying out huge amounts of foreign currency. If we do share maritime bodies, facilities, and shipping service providers, then the economical thing to do is to develop and share protocols among ourselves which can enable us to benefit from collective synergies, help us to pull resources together for regional maritime initiatives, and inspire collective negotiation of trade arrangements with overseas trade partners. We are pitching ourselves against very, very strong actors, and if we continue acting as individuals, we shall be swallowed. We need to work together as a region. I also noted that the African Maritime Charter encourages regional groupings in pursuit of common goals, and that the states using the Atlantic Ocean on the other side of the continent as their passage for international trade are well organized under the Maritime Organization for West and Central Africa, MOACA. I'm duly informed that ISCOS is in the process of developing a regional maritime transport policy which will assist us on legislation, harmonization of industry procedures and standards, guide investment mechanism, spur collaboration for industrial growth, and assist in elimination of duplication of efforts across the region. This policy is envisaged to point the entire region in the same maritime and shipping strategic direction, hence accelerating industrial growth. I appeal to ISCO member states to fast-track the review of the draft policy once presented to us to ensure it serves as a catalyst for greater collaboration and efficiency in our shipping industry. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, as Chair of the Assembly, I appreciate the tremendous work of ISCOS that ISCOS continues to do in the region in line of enabling the regional states to develop their maritime economies. In the area of offering expert advisories to the member states, ISCOS expert analysis identified that ISCOS founding 4 member states lose a total of 500 million per annum due to the wrong application of Incoterms by importing on cost, insurance and freight, the SIF basis, meaning that even money for insurance is sent abroad. And when we have our own insurance companies within the regions and in the countries, we lose jobs to foreign registered firms, and that means money getting out of our pockets and benefiting people out of our region. I know that my CEO Insurance Regulatory Authority, IR, I think, is in the room and should be hearing this. He should understand what we are talking about and should be fighting to get this reversed. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ISCOS fraternity, I take this special opportunity to officially thank the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are not here, but I want to thank them. When we had a meeting in Kampala last year, and we put this on the table, and we engaged, ISCOS engaged them, they have now accepted to join the region as member states. With great honor, I welcome the Democratic Republic of Congo to the ISCOS family. They are not here for some reason, because of unavoidable circumstances, but they are already members of this. DRC's membership of ISCOS increases our capacity as we continue to promote and protect our maritime interests. From the discussions I've had with my colleagues this morning, I'm made to understand that states have expressed willingness to join ISCOS and that they are still navigating the internal processes or applying for their membership. We had a very, very, very wonderful engagement this morning with all the ministers on this side, and most of them expressed willingness to join the organization. I congratulate these countries for the progress made and appeal to our neighbors who have not made the decision to kindly do so. Like what my colleagues have said, what is at stake is what should make us to be serious on this matter, because as I've said, we are losing money, we are losing jobs, we are not negotiating well, we are being taken advantage of because we are acting individually. I'm also informed that some of you colleagues have been inquiring about membership contributions to ISCOS. I wish to inform you that ISCOS does not have fixed members' contribution. Members' contribution is decided by members themselves based on programs to be undertaken by the Secretariat as approved by members. I therefore request you to come in the organization and let's decide together, let's move together. As the army does when they are marching, let's march together in one step. I don't know whether you've ever watched the military, whether short man or tall man, when they're on parade marching, it's one step. So let's all march together in this direction. Honorable colleagues, as you may already know, ISCOS was established to serve as a standing committee by the 4 founding members. Today, the mandate of ISCOS has extended to cover the eastern, southern, northern, and the Indian Ocean states of Africa, and as such, its name will definitely change to reflect the geographical reach and the mandate. In this regard, I wish to announce that going forward, ISCOS is to be renamed with the approval, which has already, more or less, we have already got, renamed as Maritime Organization of the Eastern, Southern, and Northern Africa, Moesina, after all due process have been followed. So we'll follow all the due process, legal and otherwise, to ensure that the name is encompassing. The reason we are doing this is because we want to get all the membership from the north all the way down south without leaving anybody behind. As I conclude, honorable members, I wish to thank the Secretariat and technical team at the Ministry of Transport and Logistics, Republic of Zambia, for the excellent arrangements for this meeting. Adequate documentation for the hospitality accorded to the delegations. As I said, some of us arrived in Lusaka at 2 a.m. and these people were at the airport, and they made sure everybody was comfortable. So, Honorable Minister, please pass on our appreciation to your team. They have done a great job, and since we arrived in Livingstone, we have been in very, very safe hands. I also wish to thank our technical experts for the depth of issues discussed and for the very good recommendations. Finally, my sincere thanks go to the Coordination Committee for the wonderful preparatory work done for this meeting, and to you, esteemed delegates, all of you, for being part of this great event. With those remarks, it is now my honor to wish this session of the ISCOS Assembly very fruitful deliberations, and request that within your very short stay, some of you can increase the number of days. I understand the minister can give some concessions at your places overboard so that you can stay for more days but spend more money here anyway. So please, for those times you'll be here, you are kindly invited to visit some of the wonderful sites of this place, and one of them is the Victoria Falls and other areas of attraction in Zambia. Don't go away and you say, I was there. Then what is the evidence? The evidence should be that you visited the Victoria Falls and other places of interest. With those, I want again to welcome you onto this session, and I would like to take this opportunity to invite our host in the region, the Honorable Minister Mwetwa, the Provincial Minister of South Province, to come and welcome us in your region. Honorable Minister, thank you very much, and I wish you the best deliberations.
The guest of honor, Honorable Minister for Transport and Logistics for the Republic of Zambia, Honorable Frank Msevatayali MP, Honorable Ministers responsible for transport and maritime affairs from ISCOS member states, Honorable Ministers responsible for maritime affairs from invited states, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissioners here present, the permanent secretaries and executive directors here present, the Secretary General for the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, ISCOS, directors and senior government officials here present, chief executive officers from port authorities here present, the chief executives officers from professional institutions in the maritime transport and logistics sector, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to you all, and welcome to Zambia. Welcome to the Southern Province. Welcome to Livingstone, our tourism capital. It is now my singular honor and privilege to welcome you all to the 8th General Assembly of Ministers for Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, ISCOS, being hosted by the Republic of Zambia for the second time here in Livingstone, Zambia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Zambia, I wish to thank you all for finding time to come to Zambia to attend this highly important event, the 8th General Assembly of Ministers for ISCOS. We are very grateful to ISCOS Secretariat for supporting this event, and most importantly, for the various initiatives you are making in the maritime transport and logistics sectors of supporting the establishment of shippers' councils in ISCOS member states with a view of reducing the cost of doing business for both exports and imports on our continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I take this opportunity to encourage you to continue with the good works you are doing of lifting the socio-economic statuses of our people in our various countries across the African continent. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, I wish you fruitful deliberations ahead and enjoy your stay in Livingstone, our tourism capital. Here in Livingstone, it is beyond the Victoria Falls. There is a lot that you can, for the first time, be able to experience, such as elephant riding, lion walk, cheetah walk, feeding elephants. There is a lot. Here in Livingstone, there is everything you may wish for. May the good Lord bless our great continent. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. As first Vice Chairman for this Assembly of Ministers, may I take the Chairman's guidance and rely on the protocols already established by going straight into my speech. Honorable Ministers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and privileged to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion of the 8th Assembly of Ministers for the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, ISCOS, here in Livingstone, Zambia. You are indeed all welcome to our tourist capital, and I invite you, each one of you, most especially our visitors, to find time from the busy meeting schedule to experience the numerous historical, cultural, and natural heritage sites that the city has to offer, as already alluded to by our provincial minister. I would like to convey greetings from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who wishes us fruitful deliberations during today's Assembly of Ministers. The President has always emphasized on the need for enhanced regional collaboration and partnerships as a means to unlocking trade opportunities not only for Zambia, but the region and the continent at large, which is in line with the theme for this meeting: enhancing collaboration, building synergies for the transformation and growth of Africa's shipping and maritime section. I wish to also extend my profound gratitude to Mr. Daniel Kienge, the Secretary General of the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, and the entire ISCOS Secretariat for your tireless efforts in running the day-to-day activities of the organization and your continued efforts to foster the spirit of togetherness that our founding forefathers aspired to when they formed ISCOS. However, it is very critical that the organization reforms itself in order to address our modern-day challenges. I would also want to thank my team from the Ministry of Transport and Logistics here in Zambia for assisting the ISCOS Secretariat in facilitating the organization of this meeting, which has made it possible for us to meet in this manner. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, maritime is an essential component of global trade, and Africa has vast natural resources that are in high demand all over the world. However, despite its vast coastline and abundant resources, our continent has, the maritime industry in Africa, been faced with many challenges over the years. These include, among others, number one, high maritime costs, especially for land-linked countries like Zambia and Zimbabwe and Malawi. Number two, inadequate coordination and collaboration. Three, low levels of skilled personnel in maritime. And fourth, lack of high levels of ownership of sea vessels by Africans. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is therefore need to formulate policies and strategies to address these challenges. This is where the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping comes in. ISCOS was established in order for member states to have an institution that will carry out various specialized international regional functions on their behalf, promote their collective aspirations, and protect their interests in the sector. In addition to these objectives, the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping is also tasked with promoting regional integration and cooperation among member countries. The benefits which accrue to the region from the operations of ISCOS can be enhanced through greater collaboration and enhanced membership. At the 6th Assembly of Ministers held in Mwanza, Tanzania, a directive was given to ISCOS Secretariat to grow the organization and expand its scope and mandate. From the 6th Assembly to date, a new member joined our organization. Allow me to echo the sentiments of the chairman to equally congratulate the Congo Democratic Republic for its joining the association. It is through increased numbers in terms of membership that we will be able to address our common challenges when it comes to maritime and take advantage of such common opportunities. Indeed, together, as the ISCOS family, we shall be able to achieve our objectives and grow trade amongst ourselves as members within our continent and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, while this organization is important, the benefits can only accrue to us all when we work with unity of purpose and engage in collective negotiations. This will assist us to pool our resources together for regional maritime initiatives. Furthermore, as a region and continent at large, there is need for greater collaboration in the harmonization of maritime policies to transform this sector. Without enhanced collaboration and coordination to build a strong and sustainable maritime industry, we will continue to struggle to fully realize the economic potential of our natural resources. However, I have a firm belief that by working and pulling our resources together, we shall be able to build a thriving maritime industry that will benefit everyone on our continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa needs to develop deliberate policies to capacitate its people with requisite skills to manage and operate in the maritime sector. The capacity building program we should create should be for both land-linked countries and countries with sea coasts. We also need to build systems that will be able to finance sea vessels and other equipment in order to empower our people to own sea vessels. My statement would be incomplete if I failed to mention here that growing the African maritime industry will require the collective effort of governments as well as industry experts and stakeholders. I therefore urge all private sector players and cooperating partners to support and participate in the work of the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, climate change undeniably does have a negative effect on all forms of transport, particularly water transport. Extreme weather conditions not only affect navigation conditions, but also affects the carrying capacities of vessels, which in turn affects the cost of transporting cargo. Therefore, as a continent, we need to take advantage and take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact on various sectors of the economy, including the maritime sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it is my hope that the deliberations of this high-level meeting will yield tangible solutions that will benefit all of us going forward. I wish you all successful deliberations and thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Honorable Minister and Chairperson of this session, Your Excellency, colleague ministers in charge of maritime and transport, Your Excellency, Secretary General of ISCOS, dear maritime experts and technical officials here present, dear representative of partners, regional and continental institutions here present, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Let me first of all thank Lord for giving us the privilege to meet in this beautiful city of Livingstone. I would like also to thank the government of Zambia for the warm welcome and hospitality extending to our delegation science landing in Zambia. Honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to appreciate the leadership of the chairperson of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers and the commitment of ISCOS Secretariat for holding statutory meetings in order to discuss and address matters of common interest. As we may know, that maritime sector is international, technical and complex, and it's also involving multiple players, even crossing political and geographical boundaries. Reason why we are here, because the issue, challenges, and matters involved in the maritime industry are common and have to be resolved through collaboration and active coordination among regional states. We therefore appreciate the effort of the ISCOS Secretariat in order to improve, protect and coordinate the shipping and maritime interests of member states and the Eastern, Central and South Africa region, include Indian Ocean states of Africa. With regard to the no-coastal countries, include Burundi, please be informed that the Lake Tanganyika, which connects 4 countries, namely the Republic of Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of Zambia has much potential in terms of lake transport development. We therefore wish that this increasing greater collaboration in the maritime industry could extend the inland waterways of the region, including Lake Tanganyika. This could significantly address issues challenging the maritime transport in the Lake Tanganyika, such as lack of multilateral lake transport agreement among the riparian states to enable the harmonization and standardization of transport policies, lack of proper information sharing between ports and ships during the navigation along the lake. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of Burundi, we appreciate really the mandate of ISCOS as a typical regional maritime organization, and we are committed to continue the process in order to become a full membership to ISCOS, and we really appreciate also the technical support from the ISCOS Secretariat on the ongoing national consultation. As I conclude my remark, I wish this meeting could end up with fruitful and implementable recommendation aiming at moving forward our region through developed maritime transport as well as port connectivity to the hinterland. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Ministers, as I express our gratitude for receiving this invitation to be with you today, allow me to deliver the speech of my Minister, Lieutenant General Kamil Al-Wazir, in the Arabic language as it was received from Cairo. السادة أصحاب المعالي وزراء النقل المشاركين في هذا الحدث الهام اليوم، بداية يسعد الجانب المصري المشاركة مع حضراتكم اليوم في هذا الاجتماع الهام للجمعية الدولية المعنية بالنقل البحري إيسكوس، والذي يعقد بجمهورية زامبيا الشقيقة وفي مدينة ليفينغستون الساحرة. وأننا إذ نثمن جهود الجمعية المتميزة في تعزيز ودفع التعاون الإقليمي لتنسيق سياسات النقل البحري لدول الشرق والجنوب الإفريقي، والتنسيق بين الموانئ البحرية لتحقيق تعاون مشترك، والعمل في إطار اتفاقية التجارة الحرة القارية الإفريقية وميثاق الاتحاد الإفريقي للنقل، وكذا الاستراتيجية الإفريقية لعام 2063 بما يحقق المصالح الاقتصادية لدولنا في ظل التحديات الاقتصادية العالمية الراهنة. السادة الحضور، إن مصر تعتمد دائما مقاربة شاملة تستهدف إرساء دعائم التنمية من خلال رؤية قارية إفريقية تستند إلى مقومات التاريخ المشترك ووحدة المصير وإعلاء مصالح شعوبنا في القارة الأفريقية، ويشمل ذلك تعزيز التعاون مع الأشقاء بما يعود بالنفع علينا جميعا في إطار العلاقات الأزلية التي تربط دول وشعوب القارة الإفريقية. وإذ تولي مصر جمهورية مصر العربية أولوية قصوى لتعزيز التعاون الاقتصادي والبحري على الصعيد الإفريقي، فإنها تعتبر ذلك أولوية قصوى للحكومة المصرية لما يشكله التعاون والوحدة بين دولنا الشقيقة من فرص واعدة للتقدم والتطوير بما يحقق طموحات وإمكانات شعوبنا. وعليه فإن تطوير منظومة النقل البحري الأفريقية وتوافق سياساتها وتكاملها مع استراتيجيات وأهداف وعمل الكيانات الاقتصادية الإفريقية، وبوجه خاص الكوميسا تجمع دول الشرق والجنوب الإفريقي، والاستراتيجية الإفريقية 2063، واتفاقية التجارة الحرة القارية الإفريقية، كل ذلك من شأنه أن يعزز دور القارة الإفريقية وإسهامها في حجم التجارة الدولية. ومن هذا النهج وفي ضوء رئاسة مصر الحالية لتجمع الكوميسا وامتلاكها لموانئ على البحرين المتوسط والأحمر وقناة السويس كشريان رئيسي للتجارة العالمية والإفريقية، فإننا نتطلع للعمل سويا بما يخدم مصالحنا الاقتصادية. السادة الموجودون، لقد عملت وزارة النقل المصرية على تطوير منظومة النقل البحري والموانئ البحرية تنفيذا لتوجيهات القيادة السياسية الهادفة لجعل مصر مركزا عالميا للتجارة الدولية واللوجستيات، حيث تم وضع خطة لتطوير الموانئ البحرية تشمل إنشاء أرصفة ومحطات بما وصل بإجمالي أطوال الأرصفة بالموانئ البحرية إلى 90 كيلومتر، وإنشاء حواجز أمواج بطول 15 كيلومتر، وكذلك تعميق الممرات الملاحية. كما تم الانتهاء من تنفيذ عدد من المشروعات وجاري العمل في عدد من المشروعات الأخرى. بالإضافة إلى ذلك تم العمل على تطوير ورقمنة الموانئ المصرية، حيث وضعت وزارة النقل خطة شاملة للتحول الرقمي الكامل وميكنة الموانئ المصرية لتكون موانئ ذكية، بالإضافة إلى تطوير بنك معلومات النقل البحري وإنشاء منصة رقمية موحدة لسياحة اليخوت. وحيث تسعى جمعية إيسكوس الموقرة لتقليل استغلال الناجم عن نقل البضائع الإفريقية على أساطيل أجنبية، فإننا نتفق وهذا الهدف الهام، وكذلك نرى ضرورة تطوير ودعم الأساطيل الوطنية لتحقيق هذا التوازن في المصالح. ومن هذا المنطلق أطلقت وزارة النقل المصرية مبادرة الربط البحري مع الدول الإفريقية، لا سيما دول الشرق والشمال الأفريقي، وتدشين خطوط ملاحية منتظمة لمضاعفة حجم التبادل التجاري من خلال إضافة 10 سفن جديدة للأسطول البحري المصري. وبدأنا بالمرحلة الأولى بتوفير سفينتين، وتم التعاقد بالفعل على بدء التشغيل نهاية العام المقبل. بالإضافة إلى ما سبق، تولي مصر اهتماما كبيرا لمشروع الممر الملاحي بين بحيرة فيكتوريا والبحر المتوسط، في ضوء الأهمية الاستراتيجية لهذا المشروع ودوره الهام في تحقيق التكامل الإقليمي ومساهمته في أجندة إفريقيا 2063 للبنية التحتية، وهو يأتي في إطار المبادرة الرئاسية للبنية التحتية في القارة الإفريقية بمشاركة مصر كدولة راعية للمشروع. ويهدف المشروع إلى تمكين الملاحة على طول نهر النيل بداية من بحيرة فيكتوريا إلى البحر المتوسط، الأمر الذي يتيح للدول المشاطئة لبحيرة فيكتوريا وعلى طول هذا المسار الوصول إلى البحر المتوسط، ويعزز التكامل الإقليمي ويقصر الطريق لربط دول حوض نهر النيل والدول الحبيسة داخل القارة التي لا تطل على بحار أو محيطات. كما أود أن أؤكد أن وزارة النقل المصرية على أتم الاستعداد لتقديم كافة أشكال الدعم الفني وتبادل الخبرات في كافة المجالات، وليس فقط في مجال النقل البحري، مع الأشقاء في القارة الإفريقية لتحقيق أهداف شعوبنا المشتركة في التنمية. وختاما أتمنى أن يكلل الله مجهوداتنا جميعا بالنجاح، وأن نتمكن من تحقيق ما نسبو إليه من تطور لما فيه الخير لقارتنا الحبيبة. وأتقدم بخالص الشكر والتقدير للقائمين على تنظيم هذا المؤتمر ولفريق العمل الذي يقف وراء نجاح هذا الحدث الهام، مع خالص تأمنياتي بنجاح المؤتمر والتوفيق لكافة الجهات المشتركة. I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister of Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda and Chairman of this Assembly, Honorable Provincial Minister of Southern Province, Honorable Frank Musa, Minister of Transport and Logistics of the Republic of Zambia, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Representative of Nations, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Ethiopia, as the largest land-linked country, heavily rely on the neighboring countries, particularly Djibouti, for its seaborne maritime import and export trade. As a government, we have placed many measures to mitigate the shortcomings arising from being a land-linked nation. Such measures include interland transport infrastructure development such as road, rails, dry ports, and free trade zones. Likewise, the government of Ethiopia has put in place policy measures which help to dictate and control the seaborne trade of the country. On such important sessions, certainly would be the introduction of FOP directive in 1992. The two entities which were assigned to oversee the implementation of the directive were National Bank of Ethiopia and the Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics. The government has been providing unwavering support to the growth and development of maritime industry, particularly Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics. ESLC, Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics, was established in 1994 with 5 vessels and merged with Maritime Transit Service and Dry Port Service Enterprise in 2011 to form end-to-end and multimodal logistics service. Throughout the 59 years of Ethiopia's shipping and logistics service history, the government of Ethiopia has been greatly supportive in policy, structure, and finance. Ministry of Transport and Logistics had prepared a 10-year strategic plan in which maritime transport sector has been addressed. Such transport throughout the years has brought up a brand new Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics, which is currently a highly profitable commercial entity. At this point in time, Ethiopian Shipping and Logistics has 10 cargo vessels, 9 multi-purpose vessels of 28K deadweight, and 1 ultimate bulk carrier of 64K deadweight. Based on the market share, ESL sits on 17 out of the top 20 global multi-purpose vessel operators. The company is now implementing a strategy to replicate such achievement on the dry bulk market sector in the coming 3 years. ESL chartered more than 40 vessels a year with average deadweights of 53K. Owns 576 heavy trucks and expanding more on yearly basis. Owns 8 dry ports throughout the country. It runs Maritime Training Center. Earns 57 billion revenue in the year 2021-22. Few and summarized benefits of operating national shipping carriers. Consolidate of national containerized shipments, which enables us to have profound bargaining power on sea freight and service delivery over the monopolistic few giant shipping companies. Consolidation of yearly bulk commodity like fertilizer and coal shipments of the country. This helps to create platform for the planning and organized transport arrangements, starting from the load port to the discharge port and further to the warehouse of end customer. An operation of such big economic scale brings in comparative sea freight threat, enhanced port performance such as zero demurrage, organized hinterland transport management, which efficiently utilizes the limited resources and provide timely delivery to the end users. Implementation of end-to-end and multimodal transport system, which enables to clear a container from Djibouti within 5.6 days on average, this less than the grace period of 8 days. delayed payments arrangement which helps the consigned to settle sea freight payment after the cargo arrived in dry ports for corporate customers and the government institutions. Payment could be even be sometimes delayed for months. Local currency usage, bank only pay 50% of sea freight for containerized shipment. This allows better management of foreign exchange during chronic times. It helps the local maritime insurance companies to flourish. Overall, the advantage and the benefits of operating on national carriers, which Ethiopia is now reaping, is what ISCOS is standing for, as stated on its vision and the mission. So ISCOS' effort to bring such benefits to the region is a coordinated and structured manner, opens the opportunity for Ethiopia to work closely for the mutual benefits of all connected. So we Ethiopians now the benefits of marching together. So as I would like to reassure you that Ethiopia is ready to march together. I thank you.
The Minister of Works and Transport, Republic of Uganda, Honorable General Edward Katumba, who is also the Chair of ISCOS, Minister of Transport and Logistics, Republic of Zambia, Honorable Frank Tayali, who is also our able host in this country, the Deputy Minister, Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Fred Atupele Mwakitebe, and I also want to agree to keep the protocols. Our SG and members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my humble pleasure to be here today at this memorable assembly to deliberate on pertinent agenda touching on the shipping and maritime interests of the East Coast region and continent at large. I would like at the earliest onset to take this opportunity on behalf of the Republic of Kenya and on behalf of President Dr. William Samoei Ruto to appreciate and acknowledge the Republic of Zambia through the Minister Honorable Tayali for hosting the 8th Assembly meeting and for the hospitality accorded to me and my delegation. I also wish to convey my gratitude to the Zambian people for the wonderful hospitality accorded to all of us gathered here. The formation of East Coast by states in the region was out of the realization and need to have coordinated approaches on matters of shipping and maritime transport. It is therefore critical that we support the drive by ISCOS to develop a regional maritime transport policy which will guide and provide a baseline on realization of regional objectives for this particular sector. We highly appreciate the role of ISCOS in its advocacy for competitive shipping services for our region and providing the shared platform for supporting member states in order to develop their maritime economies. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, with 3 main ports, Mombasa, Lamu, and Kisumu, has the potential to be the regional transshipment hub. Mombasa Port has been the strategic gateway for the region and has significantly improved on its performance. Lamu Port has the potential to be the regional transshipment hub due to the depth of the harbor at 15 meters with 3 operational berths at the moment. The port has so far received 4 ships for containers. Kisumu Port is fully operational. The port will be a gateway to landlocked countries once the standard gauge railway to Kisumu from Naivasha is completed. The new Kipevu oil terminal, which is an offshore island facility at the port of Mombasa, was completed in January 2022. It is currently the largest of its kind in Africa, offering a total length of 707 meters and 4 berths, and designed to greatly alleviate the demanding Kenya's oil transportation and increase the port's oil handling and storage capacity for Kenya and its neighbors. Ladies and gentlemen, on the shipbuilding and repair front, the government of Kenya has made big strides through the establishment of Kenya Shipyard Limited, with the dockyards located in Mombasa and Kisumu to handle the shipbuilding and dry dock ship repairs, which are key in supporting the maritime operations within the region. The Kenya Shipyard Limited has provided Kenya and the region as a whole with a competitive advantage in shipbuilding and maritime engineering in East and Central Africa by locally building and assemble ships for use within Kenya and the East Africa community. The rehabilitation of MV Uhuru 1 has boosted our capacity on the transportation of petroleum products across Lake Victoria ports, with capacity of carrying 1,800 tons of petroleum products, and can make 3 voyages per week from Kisumu to Uganda. Kenya is finalizing construction of MV Uhuru 2, which is relatively long, with a length of 100 meters long, with potential to carry general cargo and rail wagons. This will enhance trade along Lake Victoria, and we urge member states to utilize the facility in order to reduce maritime trading costs. Honorable members, on maritime safety and security, the Kenya government has built 5 search and rescue centers in the 5 riparian counties along Lake Victoria. This is geared towards enhancing safe operations of vessels by responding to accidents and incidents. This will adequately increase safety across the lake. As we move from land to water to exploit the blue economy, Kenya places great emphasis on its human resource training for sustainable growth of the maritime industry. Towards this end, the government of Kenya has prioritized transformation of the Bandari Maritime Academy into a regional center of excellence for maritime skills development, not only for Kenyan market, but for the regional and global levels. I urge member states to pursue the harmonization of training curriculum and the mutual recognition of certificates from the maritime education training institutes in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the government of Kenya to encourage and to tell you that Kenya has endorsed its candidate, Ambassador Nancy Karigitu, who is with us here, Ambassador Nancy Karigitu, the Special Ambassador for Blue Economy and Maritime. We have endorsed her for the position of International Maritime Organization Secretary General, making her the only female and African candidate for this important position. Ambassador Nancy Karigitu has been a key figure at the International Maritime Organization and the African maritime sector, championing not only Kenya but Africa's blue economy agenda as a whole. A win for Kenya will definitely be a win for Africa. Kenya wishes to humbly request for your support to deliver this important seat to reinforce Africa's position in the global maritime and shipping sector. Honorable members, finally, I wish to urge the member states represented here today to extend their unwavering support to ISCOS to excel as it continues to to realize its objectives for the greater good of our continent. I thank you for your attention, and thank you very much, Zambia, for hosting this particular conference. Thank you very much.
Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister for Works and Transport in the United Republic of Uganda, and the Chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Honorable Salim Mvurya, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Mining, Blue Economy, and Maritime Affairs in the Republic of Kenya, and a member of ISCOS Assembly Ministers. Honorable Frank Museba Tayari, Minister of Transport and Logistics in the Republic of Zambia, and a member of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. I would like also to recognize the presence of Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies and High Commissioner present, members of the ISCOS Coordination Committee, stakeholders of the shipping and maritime industries, members of the press, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank the Almighty God for the gift of life and enabling us to participate in this important meeting. It gives me a great honor to be part of this ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. I appreciate the warm reception accorded to me and my delegation by the host of the government of Zambia and the ISCOS Secretariat. I say thank you very much. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you many greetings from people of Tanzania and our President, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, but also on behalf of Honorable Professor Makame Mnyambalawa, the Minister of Works and Transport in the United Republic of Tanzania. I'm privileged and honored to have this opportunity of presenting the statement of the United Republic of Tanzania on this 8th ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, let me take this opportunity to welcome and acknowledge our new member, as our chair said, the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, into ISCOS membership. The decision to join ISCOS rejuvenates our collaboration agenda in the region, and indeed, by extension, the African agenda on promotion of intra-regional trade. I also wish to thank my colleagues, ministers from our neighboring states, for honoring our invitation to be part of this meeting. Your acceptance to attend this meeting creates a good environment for building greater collaboration among regional states. It is my wish that, since we all share ISCOS idea, you will soon follow DRC Congo steps and join ISCOS membership, so that together we can shape the shipping and the maritime industry in our region. Just to quote from our former president, the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, former president of the United Republic of Tanzania, who once said, if we in the developing countries are to shape our own destiny and participate fully in shaping the future and the nature of the world in which we live in, we have to have an effective voice. But we will not have that effective voice if we do not work together, at least in some areas of vital concern to all of us. Together, we can reduce our separate weaknesses. Acting together, we can become stronger. We can gain and at least some more influence in the world. That is the end of the quote. It is high time for now, for all of us, for the shipping and maritime sector in the region to work collectively to shape the industry. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the agreement of establishing ISCOS was signed in July 1987, and the intention of establishing this important organ was, among others, to work together in the areas of shipping industry in order to have a strong bargain power against shipping lines on the cost of transportation of goods by sea. The mandates of ISCOS continued to extend and included, among others, to provide technical advice to members' countries on the shipping industry. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, Among of the technical advice which was given by ISCOS to member countries in domestication of marine cargo insurance, acting on the advice by ISCOS, the government of the United Republic of Tanzania amended the law and started the localization of maritime cargo insurance in January 2018. Since then, we have realized increased retention in the country over Tanzania shillings 21.4 billion in 2021. Money that could otherwise have been paid to foreign insurance companies and expatriated out of the country. I urge the ISCOS Secretariat to continue coordinating national maritime cargo insurance stakeholders in their efforts to ensure maritime cargo insurance domestication becomes a success in the whole region, and further to do more researches that will benefit member countries. Honorable ministers and participants, after having said that about ISCOS, let me inform you some few developments that are taking place in the United Republic of Tanzania. Honorable members and participants, in order to improve service delivery in the region, the United Republic of Tanzania has modernized the Dar es Salaam port by strengthening and deepening of berth number 1 up to 7 and the Rolo terminal, dredging of the entrance channel, turning cycle and the harbor basin, strengthening and deepening of the container berth number 8 up to 11, and the construction of a new berth at Gerezani Creek. The port now can handle bigger vessels with a load capacity up to 70,000 tons, and the program is set to increase the port's capacity to 28 million metric tons annually by 2025. To move the cargo from the port, United Republic of Tanzania is constructing standard gauge railway from Dar es Salaam to Mwanza, branching from Tabora to Kigoma, and from Isaka to Keza, connect to Burundi, Rwanda, and the DRC. Currently, we have signed the contract of standard gauge railway more than $10.3 billion, which is equivalent to 23 Tanzanian shillings. United Republic of Tanzania has also upgraded and renovated Tanga port. Thus, ships are able to anchor at berth, unlike before when they used the load and discharge at outer anchorage. The port capacity has been enhanced to handle more than it was, to tune of 3 million metric tons from the previous capacity of 750,000 metric tons. Mtwara Port was also expanded to be able to accommodate bigger ships. All these investments are made to increase the capacity and efficiency of Tanzanian ports so as to benefit the United Republic of Tanzania and the entire region. Distinguished ministers, ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude my speech, I wish to assure members once again that Tanzania, as a coastal state, is fully committed to providing passage for transit goods, cargo to and from land-linked states, not only as an obligation, but also for cardinal and brother relationships with neighboring states in the spirit of greater regional collaboration in shipping and maritime affairs. Distinguished ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to express my gratitude to the ISCOS Coordination Committee for the proper preparation of this meeting. I also wish to congratulate Secretariat for the programs which have been implemented and urge them to continue implementing the program agreed upon at the regional level. I congratulate and appreciate Uganda as chair for steering the organization well. I appreciate you, Honorable Minister, for the work well done. I would like to thank the host country, Zambia, for the warm reception and for hosting us. And lastly, my counterpart ministers and other dignitaries for finding time from your busy schedule to attend this meeting. With these few remarks, I thank you for your attention and once again pray for the successful meeting. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Thank you, Chair, this meeting. Good afternoon. Muito obrigado. Sua Excelência, Ministro dos Transportes de Uganda, Presidente desta reunião. Sua Excelência, Ministro dos Transportes da Zâmbia. Suas Excelências, Ministros do Comitê Intergovernamental de Navegação Marítima. Sua Excelência, Secretário-Geral do Comitê Intergovernamental da Navegação Marítima, Suas Excelências, Ministros dos Blocos Regionais da África, Sua Excelência, Ministro da Província do Sul, ilustres parceiros de cooperação internacional, distintos convidados, minhas senhoras, meus senhores. Em primeiro lugar, gostaria de transmitir as calorosas saudações de Sua Excelência Mateus Magala, Ministro dos Transportes e Comunicações de Moçambique, que devido à situação de ciclone Fred e cheias que está a assolar o país, não pode estar presente neste evento. Para já, gostaríamos de reiterar os nossos agradecimentos pela solidariedade, pelo consolo. Ainda testemunhamos no início deste evento através do menino. Permita-me, em nome do povo e de Sua Excelência Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, Presidente da República de Moçambique, apresentar saudações a todos os participantes desta reunião da Assembleia dos Ministros do Comitê Intergovernamental da Navegação Marítima. Saudamos e apreciamos profundamente o convite que nos foi endereçado pelo Secretariado do Comitê Intergovernamental de Navegação Marítima para a nossa participação neste importante evento. Agradecimento especial apresentamos aos organizadores deste prestigiado evento, que constitui uma plataforma para a troca de experiências entre os diferentes especialistas em matéria de atividade marítima no nosso continente. A nossa presença neste evento testemunha a abertura e prioridade dada pelo governo de Moçambique à cooperação com parceiros regionais e globais, visando a combinação de sinergias para fazer face aos desafios que afetam o desenvolvimento sustentável da atividade de transporte marítimo no continente africano e no mundo. Minhas senhoras, meus senhores, Moçambique possui um enorme potencial para o transporte marítimo, dada a sua localização geográfica, com vasta extensão de cerca de 2.700 quilômetros de costa, onde foram construídos portos estratégicos para a logística nacional e regional, em particular para os países da região austral da África, sem acesso direto ao mar. O país partilha ainda o Lago Niassa com Malawi e Tanzânia. Dos portos moçambicanos, estende-se uma vasta malha de ferrovias e rodovias que servem à logística nacional e às importações e exportações dos países da região, tornando o país num nó logístico estratégico para o desenvolvimento do transporte marítimo na costa oriental da África. Só no ano passado, os portos moçambicanos manusearam cerca de 56.453.200 toneladas, cerca de 51,4% desta carga estava em trânsito de ou para os países da região. Esta cifra reforça o papel de Moçambique no acesso dos países vizinhos ao mar. Ciente deste papel estratégico de Moçambique na logística da região, estamos a investir profundamente na ampliação e modernização das infraestruturas ferroportuárias, ao mesmo tempo que estamos a reestruturar os nossos corredores de desenvolvimento para que se tornem em espaços de oportunidade para a industrialização, comércio, desenvolvimento da agricultura e outras atividades que explorem o potencial aí instalado para gerar emprego e renda para o desenvolvimento econômico nacional e regional. O debate sobre o desenvolvimento do transporte marítimo é de extrema importância, se tomarmos em conta que cerca de 90% do comércio internacional da nossa região é assegurado pela via marítima, o que nos impõe responsabilidades acrescidas na criação de condições necessárias que garantam o desenvolvimento sustentável desta atividade. A necessidade do Comitê Intergovernamental da Navegação Marítima prestar especial atenção sobre as atividades marítimas prende-se igualmente com as recentes descobertas de grandes quantidades de reservas de recursos naturais no mar em muitos países do nosso continente, estando Moçambique a viver esta promissora realidade. Neste contexto, esta organização é desafiada a expandir a sua atuação para além da navegação marítima, para incluir estratégias conjuntas que permitam o estabelecimento de sistema de transporte e logística sustentável para atender às necessidades da exploração dos recursos naturais no mar. Para além do crescimento e diversidade das atividades no mar, o transporte marítimo é permanentemente desafiado pela necessidade de segurança e preservação do meio ambiente marítimo. O terrorismo, que infelizmente já constitui uma realidade na costa oriental da África, exige uma abordagem integrada, ao mesmo tempo que concertamos as nossas estratégias para a implementação das conversações da Organização Marítima Internacional sobre a preservação do meio ambiente marítimo. O governo de Moçambique vê este fórum como uma janela de oportunidade para a capitalização das ações no nosso país, para alavancar o transporte marítimo nacional e internacional, numa altura em que decorrem esforços para a revitalização da cabotagem marítima nacional. Para a materialização deste objetivo do governo de Moçambique, estamos a implementar reformas profundas para atrair investidores para operar o transporte marítimo nacional, um ramo de atividade com um enorme potencial no país e múltiplas vantagens competitivas. Na componente lacustre, é com enorme satisfação que vamos colher desta prestigiosa audiência as experiências dos países irmãos das repúblicas do Quênia, Tanzânia, Uganda, no uso tripartido do Lago Vitória, por forma a replicá-las no uso sustentável da navegação do Lago Niassa. Reiteramos o nosso reconhecimento e encorajamento dos esforços do Comitê Intergovernamental da Navegação Marítima no desenvolvimento do transporte marítimo, na perspectiva da consolidação deste bloco regional, visando fazer face aos desafios impostos pela conjuntura global que vivemos. Ciente das vantagens deste comitê intergovernamental, de Navegação Marítima, gostaria de expressar a abertura de Moçambique em continuarmos a trabalhar com todos os países membros desta organização na promoção de boas práticas para o desenvolvimento harmonioso do transporte marítimo da região oriental e austral de África. Igualmente, reiteramos a nossa disponibilidade em trabalhar com o ISCOS no sentido de iniciar o processo de adesão de Moçambique a este organismo. De imediato, queremos assegurar que está disponível uma equipe de técnicos moçambicanos para junto do secretariado do ISCOS para preparar o processo de adesão do país como membro de pleno direito deste estratégico fórum. Terminamos agradecendo a presença de todos, formulando votos de francos e frutuosos debates no quadro do fortalecimento e dinamização da atividade de transporte marítimo no nosso continente. Muito obrigado pela atenção. Thank you for attention. Merci beaucoup. Asante sana kunisikiliza. Zikomo kwambiri.
Chairperson of the ISCOS, allow me to write on all the protocols already observed. It is an honor and privilege to share these few remarks on this auspicious occasion of the 8th ISCOS Assembly, which is jointly organized and hosted by the ISCOS Secretariat and the Zambian government. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to acknowledge the exceptional leadership of Honorable Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda, who chairs the Assembly of Ministers of the ISCOS, the Secretary General of ISCOS, and the rest of the Secretariat for bringing us together in this scenic town of Livingstone to participate in this premier shipping and maritime event. Indeed, your ability to identify pressing regional shipping needs, foster greater collaboration and wider membership to spearhead the maritime shipping agenda to increase collective bargaining power for competitive terms of engagement with maritime multinational service providers shall be remembered as a hallmark of your leadership and coordination prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, Zimbabwe's main street shipping and maritime distinguished guests, although Zimbabwe is a landlocked country, our interest in maritime and shipping has witnessed exponential growth since the inception of our independence in 1980. We rely on the performance of regional ports along the Indian coastline, mainly Durban, Beira, Maputo, and Dar es Salaam, in exporting and importing goods. We superintend and regulate several regulated water bodies which are crucial for local, regional, and international users in terms of waterborne tourism, inland waterways transport, shipping, fishing, energy development, among others. We regulate inland waterways and activities in terms of the Inland Waters Shipping Act, Chapter 13.6, and its allied regulations. And currently we are in the process of enacting the Merchant Shipping Law with a view to ramp up our maritime and shipping operations. The efforts I've highlighted have strengthened our resolve to do more. That is why we've responded positively to this opportunity availed by ISCOS to foster broader and deeper cooperation in the area of shipping and maritime development. Distinguished guests, we are delighted that ISCOS, an intergovernmental maritime board, which was established in 1967 to protect and promote shipping and maritime interests in the region, has provided us with a platform to share views and practices, also to learn from each other as we develop. We are also thrilled that in 2006, ISCOS mandate was reviewed to realign its activities to the emerging opportunities and challenges of international trade and associated developments in the region. We are fully aware that this was further reiterated at the 7th Assembly, which was held in Uganda, to transform ISCOS, entailing expanding the organization's functions and mandate to cover the landlocked countries involved in the logistical chain to ensure that we all attain a land-linked status. We also share in the ISCOS main objective to transform the African region into a one-stop center of excellence for regional maritime matters and total logistics, encompassing all coastal and land-linked states using the Indian Ocean as their maritime route for international trade. Ladies and gentlemen, Zimbabwe is a contracting state of the United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea and the Convention on the International Maritime Organization. We fully partake in the programs of IMO through participation in the work of the Intergovernmental Conference on Marine Biodiversity of Area Beyond National Jurisdiction and the International Seabed Authorities under the auspices of the United Nations. On Inland Transport Affairs, we participate in the Inland Transport Committee, a multilateral platform for the advancement and development of inland transport, including inland waterways and their linkages with the sea. We also fully partake in the activities which seek to advance maritime and shipping development within the framework of the African Maritime Transport Charter. And we firmly believe, therefore, that our participation at all such fora can only have profound meaning if it culminates into regional shipping and marine solutions, such as those we intend to build using this forum. Solutions which have a direct bearing on our people and communities. Solutions which enhance our economic performance and build lives of future generations and build on the principle of the common heritage of African mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, at home, Zimbabwe continues to engage and re-engage, including within the framework of economic diplomacy, with the blue economy as one of the tools through which we deepen cooperation and ties with our fellow African sister countries and those beyond the Indian Ocean. We are committed to be part of the anticipated member states' regional maritime grouping to enhance our access to the Indian Ocean, which has been our major and strategic passageway for decades through Durban, Maputo, Beira, Dar es Salaam, and many other ports along the Indian coastline. Our participation is anchored on the following three strategies, which is the inland water transport ways, the bulk freight railway transport solutions, including distributive centers within the framework of inland terminals, the dry ports to integrate the marine system in East African coastal nations with such dry inland continental networks, and to build transport network intermodalities to integrate sources of goods, roads, railway, and marine transport systems. As I conclude, allow me to emphasize the need for greater and more effective collaboration in the shipping and maritime sector of the states sharing the West Coast and the Indian Ocean, and using the Indian Ocean as their maritime passage for international trade, based on shared maritime bodies, facilities, multinational shipping service providers, and overseas trading partners. Let us bridge the shipping and maritime challenges and gaps, adopt uniform policy and legal frameworks to develop reciprocal non-tariff regimes to contribute towards effective operationalization of African continental free trade area and an African integrated marine strategy. Let us work together to drive the shipping and maritime agenda as a region in order to ride on each other's strength, make use of our collective bargaining power, and even pool resources together for collective maritime initiatives. And on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Transport, Felix Mona, I want to reiterate that Zimbabwe is ready to engage and also be a member of the ISCOS family. I thank you.
Thank you very much, General Edward Katumba, Minister of Works and Transport in Uganda. All protocols observed. Firstly, let me thank you, Chair, for remembering Malawi and Mozambique as we pass through this very difficult time dealing with Cyclone Freya. It's been very devastating, and some of us are only here in transition as we seek for further interventions on how to deal with this. Secondly, I would like to thank our host here, my brother Tayari, for the warm welcome during our stay here in this beautiful country of Zambia. Through your hospitality, you made us feel welcome. And I also want to thank the member states of ISCOS for inviting us and extending this invitation to all of us here so that we can discuss these issues pertaining to maritime transport. Greetings from His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, President of Malawi. Malawi's geographical position means our transport costs are much, much higher than those who have direct access to the coasts. As such, as a policy for our government to reduce the cost of transportation, we feel that our participation in such forums becomes very, very important. Malawi was privileged to attend the previous session, which was actually the 7th meeting. And as such, we were looking forward to some of the resolutions that were made in that meeting, such as exciting testimonies from Tanzania, where my brother was talking about how they have managed to localize the cargo insurance, maritime cargo insurance, which, you know, inevitably saves our scarce forex. And again, I also heard about the developments of the coasts like Dar es Salaam, Twara in Tanzania, and then the development of Nakara in Mozambique, which become very, very beneficial to countries like Malawi and Zambia, that we can only link to those through railways. And therefore, I was also looking forward to issues of, which we also discussed then, issues of consolidating our bulky kind of like imports, such as fertilizers, an issue which I also raised at that previous meeting. Because I feel that these are very low-hanging fruits, despite the fact that we can't wait for all ducks to get in the row for us to start moving. So I like the idea that we are waiting for everyone to come in and then we can move on. But some of these are very low-hanging fruits. For example, this idea of importing our back, for example, fertilizers, as I said. You know, it's become very expensive nowadays to import fertilizers, and the prices are really high. But one way on how we can bring the cost down is if we decided to say, okay, let's buy all this in bulk as one unit, and then we share when it arrives here. You know that they will bring the cost much lower. So I believe that if we moved on and started using some of these low-hanging fruits, those countries that are contemplating to join would move much, much faster to see that this thing is really benefiting us. Chairperson, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to know that this meeting, this time around, was also preceded by a consultative meeting of maritime experts and technical officers. And I believe that this is also a positive step, and that going forward, it also gives chance for member states and also those of us that are on our way to joining to have a deep understanding of it before we come to a plenary like this. And as a country, we have keen interest in learning from the works of ISCOS, which has done concerning analysis of assessment of operation in the inland waterways in the region. We therefore intend to study the reports that were concluded in 2022 to see what lessons we can learn from our inland waterways. Beyond that, the meetings this week have once again emphasized the benefits of collaboration and coordination in the area of maritime policies and interventions on trade facilitation for our respective countries. My team took great interest in the discussions around regional maritime policies, addressing climate change, issues in maritime transport, and strengthening maritime education and training of seafarers. Chairperson, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, as some of you may know, Malawi has a marine training college which has trained many seafarers who operate along inland waterways, particularly in the SADC region. We welcome the discussion on prioritizing marine education and training, including the proposals to prioritize maritime education and training, including the proposal to harmonize even the training of the curriculum, and establishing mechanism for countries in the region to recognize qualifications and certifications used in other countries in the region. In addition, Malawi looks forward to continued collaboration in the formulation of the regional and national maritime policies, as well as maritime safety, security, and environmental protection. Chairperson, honorable ministers, and ladies and gentlemen, beyond this meeting today, I would like to recognize the efforts taken by ISCOS Secretariat to engage Malawi on its prospects for becoming a member of this important grouping. I would like to pleasantly inform you that our government on a policy level has made a decision to join this institution. And as a minister, we have started the processes internally, and we are working together with the Secretariat to see how we can get approvals for us that are required for us to become, to sign up for this organization. In the meantime, Malawi welcomes the proposal of rebranding ISCOS into the Maritime Organization of Eastern, Southern, and Northern Africa, and in so doing expands its scope of mandate. This will allow it to become a coordinating agency for maritime matters in line with provision of the revised African Maritime Transport Charter. Chairperson, if there is one thing that those that have cast over this country, continent of Africa, will prevent us doing, that is, they will always prevent us from coming together. Because they know that that's the only way they will prevent us from realizing our freedom. Freedom to African prosperity. Freedom to independence. Freedom to realize our full potential. Freedom to our power. Freedom to know who we really are as Africans. A blessed continent, rich continent, full of all that we need for us to become a prosperous continent in the whole world. Therefore, time for African countries to come together and collaborate on issues affecting our issues, trade, transportation, and everything else is now. The African Free Trade Continental Area will benefit us more if we're united in the area of maritime transport. And I believe that through this organization, we will achieve that unity and purpose and will take us forward. Once again, thank you very much for inviting us and for my very good presentation. Thank you.
Honorable Ministers of Transport, Maritime Affairs, and the Blue Economy, distinguished facilities, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. May peace of Allah be upon of you. It's tremendous honor to be here at Radisson Blue Hotel for the important gathering of the 8th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of the Ministers. It's a special honor because of the warmth and friendship of our Zambia hosts. It's obviously a great honor to be here, this beautiful city, Livingstone, and the magnificent venue provided by the host country of the Republic of Zambia. Moreover, I really hopefully encourage your next meeting of ISCOS Assembly to nominate the member states in respect of gender balance, whereby I can see here that the female is unfairly ignored. Also a great honor because this is a very special meeting to be able to gather officials from Africa and subject matter shipping maritime expertise from ISCOS members states, international organizations from across the globe to support common global in something we must be proud of. On behalf of the federal government of Somalia, allow me to extend our sincere gratitude to the government and the people of Zambia for the generosity in hosting this meeting. Our broad gratitude to the Honorable Edward Gatumba Omala, Minister of Works and Transport, Chairman of ISCOS Assembly of the Ministers from the Republic of Uganda, and for his tireless effort and dedication in promoting the spirit of African brotherhood and togetherness in line with African Union, the African Maritime Charter, the African Free Trade Agreement, and the Agenda 2063. We commend you even further your leadership as Bunier Chairman of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Please join me in thanking the ISCOS Secretariat, particularly those partnering with ISCOS in developing the program and the agenda content. I would like to express our most sincere thanks to all African member states in our international organizations like International Maritime Organization, Maritime Regulators, Port Authorities, Shippers Council, Freight Forwarders, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, African Union, East Africa Community, African Shipowners Association, MTCC, and the corridor institutions of Tanganyika and Victoria Lakes for providing subject matter experts to contribute to the discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, your presence here today is a clear demonstration for your government's commitment to develop shipping and maritime affairs, the technical nature, complexities, and the geographical location issues involved, and goals to show the ISCOS has involved the major focus to facilitating international communications, coordination and cooperation among the African countries, which has created a basis of technical cooperation between the member states, ISCOS Assembly, and the friends of ISCOS that is trusted, effective, and popular. The importance of national and regional cooperation in dealing with shipping and maritime challenges cannot be easily emphasized, given the global nature of shipping. No one country alone can ensure shipping and maritime activities. Your strong presence here today clearly demonstrates your willingness to work together to achieve this common aim. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this meeting, let us derive the best knowledge and expertise, while we also suffer hospitality for our host. I believe among all us in this room and others that will participate in the meeting virtually, we have at least several centuries of shipping and maritime experience and great diversity. I encourage you to share ideas and experience with our maritime experts or facilitators and ask them questions, to provide comments, to give examples of your own experience as member states, as to generate an activity dialogue and a more successful outcome. As member states, as to generate an activity dialogue for networking and sharing experience and best practices. Please make the best of it. Finally, let me conclude my speech by once again thanking the government of Zambia, the Secretary General, and being truly an excellent host. Thank you.
Chair, in the interest of time and taking cognizance that it's almost 2 p.m., almost 2 p.m., I will try to be as brief as possible and also to adopt the protocols that have been already established so that I can save you time. But allow me to register my appreciation to the ISCOS partner states and friends for organizing this very important meeting, but equally important for giving me this chance and opportunity to speak to you and share a few of my thoughts as a candidate, as explained by my minister. Let me start by saying that I'm indeed very honored that my president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, nominated me, and also that you, as members of the African Union, actually endorsed my candidature. I don't take it for granted that you've allowed me to fly the flag for Africa. I appreciate this opportunity also to interact with you, and in particular to seek your assistance and support in the campaign. First of all, to contextualize, IMO, what is IMO? It's the United Nations Specialized Agency, established in 1948 and has been in operation since 1958. It has 175 member states and 3 associate members, making it the largest membership associations among international organizations, and its mandate touches on highly sensitive and strategic importance of its members, and hence a complex fusion of alliances, interests, and competition. On 23rd July this year, IMO will be seeking its 10th Secretary General. Of the 9 SGs before this, none has been from the Global South, and none has been, and all of them have been from the same gender. And therefore, while my successful election would fill a very wide and owning gap, this is not the focus that I have. Those are not the most important things, because I believe very strongly that this campaign for that seat is not about getting me as a woman a paycheck. It's not about also Kenya as one individual country's interest, but it's the focus of Kenya as a member of the African continent. So it's about us as a continent that has not only a major stake in the global maritime industry, but as a continent that is a major contributor to the industry, and also a continent where maritime matters have a are high in the hierarchy of interest and survival of the member states of Africa, as evidenced by all the comments that have come out of this meeting and previous speakers. So my kind request, what I'm submitting today, is that we join together, that you hold my hand as members of Africa, so that we deliver a victorious bid for our continent. A continent whose maritime sector is very, very important, and whose trade with the rest of the world is connected by the maritime industry. Now, I say this coming from lessons that we've learned from the COVID pandemic, which were very serious, and which I'm going to name just but a few. The pandemic led to a drop in the volume of trade transported by ships due to disruptions. It also led to rapid and more accessible technological advances, which call for development in smart use of automation and new technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, and blockchain to improve performance, particularly in our continent. It also calls for green revolution, so that we encourage environmentally friendly and sustainable operations. And African ports must not be left behind, because it's an imperative. I'm glad that the MTCC Africa has provided us with a good platform for networking and peer learning, capacity building, and information sharing amongst our ports. We cannot achieve this without shipping and also infrastructure and equipment. It will also increase demand for Africa connectedness, which gives us other opportunities. But most important, Africa being at the center of decarbonization and greening the industry, this presents one of the biggest opportunities that we have. As we are aware, the world needs to largely decarbonize if we are going to avoid the dangerous climate change challenges. And also, this will happen at a scale and urgency that are very radical departure from business as usual. Substantially, how we decarbonize will differ from country to country because of the disparity of resources, but most important, we have to balance decarbonization with, as a continent, our right to develop, which now brings us the biggest opportunity that we have. Africa must be the natural factory of the future, because our renewable energy potential remains unmatched. We have an opportunity, a huge opportunity to combine industrialization with decarbonized growth. And therefore, this is the biggest opportunity and contribution that we are bringing into the maritime space. Why am I saying this? 7 of the 10 sunniest countries in the world are based in Africa, which is a tremendous asset for solar energy and green fuels, which are now the move into the future. We also are home to 10% of the global potential for hydropower, not to mention the wind power potential. And therefore, we have a platform to industrialize without stressing the environment. But our costs are very high for production, and because of this energy potential, this is why we will be looking for coming to Africa to produce the goods of the future. We have great advantages also in this, and I'm telling you this so that we see what we are contributing to the IMO and to the global maritime community. It's not just the fact that we are producing somebody. Our demographics are our biggest asset because we have the world's highest population of young and very talented people and a high number. I've got 5 pillars for my candidature, and I'm going to list them very, very quickly. One is to restore multilateralism within the IMO discussions. The second one is continued modernization of the IMO, both at the Secretariat, to bring linkages to the IMO and the UN, and also ensure increased participation of and involvement of the Global South within IMO discussion and decision making.
Greetings of His Excellency Mateus Mangara, Mozambique Minister of Transport and Communication, who due to a situation of cyclone Freddy and the flood that has affected the country cannot be present at this event. We warmly welcome and appreciate the invitation addressed to us by the Secretariat of the Intergovernment Committee on Maritime Shipping to participate in this prestigious event. The participation of the government of Mozambique in this event is a witness of the openness and priority given to cooperation with regional and global partners, aiming to combine synergies to face the challenges that affect the sustainable development of the maritime transport activity in the African continent and in the world. Mozambique has an enormous potential for maritime transport, given its geostrategic location, with a wide expanse of about 2,700 kilometers of coastline, where strategic ports have been built for national and regional logistics, particularly for countries in the southern region. Without direct access to the sea, the country has also shares Lake Nyasa with Malawi and Tanzania. Just last year, Mozambican ports handled 56 million tons, about 51% of this cargo was in transit to and from countries in the region. The figure reinforces the role of Mozambique in the access of neighboring countries to the sea. We are aware of this strategic role of Mozambique in the region's logistics, and we are deeply investing in the expansion and modernization of our railroad infrastructure, while at the same time we are structuring our development corridors so that they may become areas of opportunity for industrialization, trade, agricultural development, and other activities that exploit the potential installed there to create jobs and income for national and regional economic development. There is need for the Intergovernmental Committee for Maritime Navigation to pay special attention to maritime activities which are as well related to the recent discoveries of large amounts of natural resource reserves at sea in many countries of our continent, as Mozambique is experiencing this fact. In this regard, this organization is challenged to expand its action beyond maritime navigation to include joint strategies that enable the establishment of sustainable transport and logistics systems to meet the exploitation of natural resources. Besides the growth and diversity of activities at sea, maritime transportation is currently challenged by the need for safety and preservation of maritime environment. The government of Mozambique views this forum as an opportunity to capitalize on the actions
in our country to boost national and international maritime transport at a time when efforts are underway to revitalize national maritime sabotage. In order to effectuate this objective of the government of Mozambique, we are implementing deep reforms to attract investors to operate in the national maritime transport, being it an industry with enormous potential in the country and multiple competitive advantages. Regarding the lake component, we are extremely pleased to gather from this prestigious audience the experience of our sister countries of the republics of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda in the tripartite use of Lake Victoria, in order to replicate them in the sustainable use of navigation of Lake Nyasa. Being aware of the advantage of this Intergovernmental Maritime Navigation Committee, I would like to express Mozambique's openness to continue working with all member countries of this organization in the promotion of good practices for the harmonious development of maritime transport in the eastern and southern region of Africa. We also reiterate our willingness to work with ISCOS in order to initiate the process of Mozambique's membership in this organization. We would like to assure that a team of technical Mozambican experts will be available to ISCOS Secretariat to prepare the process of Mozambique's adhesion as a full membership of this strategic forum. We would like to end by thanking you all for your participation and wish you fruitful debates in the scope of strengthening and boosting the maritime transportation activity on our continent.
Thank you very much. That was the message from Mozambique. Now, the prospective member states will sign recommendations because they are not bound by the resolutions because they are not yet member states. But they are going to take home recommendations from this August House, and then those will enable them to engage their countries in order for them to make either resolution to join the organization or to whatever way they will go. So that's what we are going to do, and that's what is happening now. All the members who have attended are signing recommendations. The member states have signed resolutions, but they will also issue a joint communique. We are going to issue a joint communique together as the member states, and that will be organized by the Secretariat. Now, I'm going to invite the Secretary General to give a vote of thanks, and then after that, I'll close the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In the interest of time, I want just to write on the existing protocols to sincerely take this opportunity to thank each and every one of us, starting with our honorable ministers, for finding time from your busy schedule and coming to be with us in this very important meeting. I also equally want to take the opportunity to thank and appreciate our members of the technical committee and the coordination committee for the work they have done to make this event a success. Special thanks also to my colleagues at the Secretariat for what they have done to make this event a success. I also appreciate and want to sincerely acknowledge our partners, our colleagues in the industry, who have found time to come and honor our invitations, be a contributory factor to the success of this meeting. And I want to appreciate a few whom I have seen CEOs representing their countries in their organizations in this event, starting with Alex Bonye, the CEO of Uganda Shippers Council. I appreciate you, sir. Mohamed Abdul Rahim, Higher General Chair of Red Sea Ports. He has been with us since Monday for the technical teams. I also appreciate Fred Miller, Managing Director, Zambia Railway Limited. Clement William Kamendo, Chair of Tanzania Shippers Council, Chris Kulungu, Vice Chair of Zambia Shippers Council, Trabole Regional Manager, SAMSA, South Africa, and also representative of the AMA in this forum, Dr. Tumaini Rumo, Acting Principal, Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute, Tanzania, Loro Olufumi, Secretary General, African Ship Owners Association, Lagos, Alfonia Nkurunga, Technical Advisor to the DG, Burundi Post and Maritime Authority, Kwisiba Liali, Director, Monitoring and Evaluation, Burundi, Al-Anj Ibrahim Rubega, Chief Executive Officer, Kampala, Chief Executive Officer of Insurance Regulatory Authority, Uganda, Robert Mutonga, Chief Executive Officer, Zambia Shippers Council, Lydia Ngugi, Project Aid, Maritime Technology Cooperation Center for Africa, Walzen Kasa, Deputy CEO, Ethiopia Shipping Services, Dr. Okongo Flori, Executive Secretary, Central Corridor, and all the other participants who I might not have mentioned, but are part of this important meeting. Feel appreciated, be part of us. We have collaborated with you before, and we want to appreciate your collaboration as we go forward. Equally, I want to appreciate members of the press who have been here to cover the event, the hotel management for hosting us since we started our engagement in this facility, the government of Zambia, of course, just to echo what the chair said, we have been taken care of, and I believe I have not received any complaint from any of my delegates. So, Zambia, Honorable, and through you, His Excellency, we appreciate the host he extended to us in this area. On behalf of the Secretariat, I also want to ride on what the Chair said, to extend our condolences and our prayers to our brothers in Mozambique and Malawi. Actually, because of that, means I was cancelled his trip. He was to be part of this initiative. And therefore, we want to tell our brothers in Malawi and Mozambique, we are in our prayers, you are in our hearts, and we are praying and trusting that God will be able to heal those countries. Now, before I finish, I would just want to say one word, and this could be our takeaway from the Secretariat. We are all being taught by our principals that shipping is big business. You know that around 11 trillion tons of cargo are transported globally. And out of that, African contribution is very minimal. Even our own cargo to this to and from is carried by ships and shipping lines operating or registered outside this country. We also know that there is around 1.9 million people working as seafarers in the industry. Philippines, for instance, has around 380,000 seafarers with a population of around 115 million. Africa, we are talking of a population of close to 1.4 billion people, but our share in this important industry is very minimal. The seafarers in Philippines brought home close to 6.5 billion annually. They bring home 6.5 billion in terms of foreign currency. Africa, I don't know how much we are bringing. So as we leave this place, a question to me and you is, what can I do to make a change? What can we do to make a change? We cannot continue doing business as usual. Something must be done by me and you. And our Clario Core as ISCOS, let's join hands, let's see what we can do to change the situation in this area. We are crying of unemployment. Statistics are indicating that we have a serious shortage of seafarers. In fact, in the next 3 years, it is projected that we could be having around 89,510 people required to work in the maritime sector. How many of these are we producing as Africa? That should be our takeaway as we leave this place. Otherwise, I want to sincerely wish you traveling masses as you go home. Those of you, all of us living today, may God be with you as you travel. Those of us who are remaining behind, as the minister said, let us try to sample Livingstone and by extension Zambia. Victoria Falls is around, and I believe many other places. Don't be bored. Be part of this encourage. And the minister has also invited us for a boat tour. If you are interested for that, kindly make sure you get in touch with us. Let us know people who are traveling, who are going home, and those who are going to be part of the tour and the dinner, so that we can arrange accordingly. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to wish our candidate, Ambassador Nancy, the very best. The very best. If you get this thing, I know ISCOS we are covered, Africa we are covered. We pray for you. God bless you. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, the Secretary General. Honorable members, honorable ministers, again, I want to pass on behalf of the Secretariat and the ISCO. As a chair, I want to thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for honoring the invitation. This meeting would have been useless if you had not come to attend. So I want to thank you very much. I talked about our CEO in charge of Insurance Regulatory Authority, who should be helping ISCOS to deal with the international shipping. May I introduce Mr. Kaduna Bihaji? Maybe just for recognition, you can put off your mask a bit. Yes, ISCOS, you should deal with him closely to help you with the issues to do with the insurance for our cargo. Secretariat, I think the ball is in your court.
I request that we all be upstanding as the AU national anthem is being sung.
To defend our liberty and Stand and sing, O Zambia, proud and free, land of wake and joy in unity. Victors in the struggle for their right. We won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with a place like earth today. Let us all our people join as one, brothers under the sun. Oh, one strong and free, one land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee. Oh, one strong and free, praise be to Christ.
Thank you very much. We may all take our seats. We allow the high table. Please, let's be orderly. We let the high table leave first. Thank you so much.